Is it okay to incorporate these kind of, I guess, different kind of portals, maybe to get to the same place? Like, for example, imagining, okay, being still, surrendering, you know, and in that process of entering that or accessing God's power, or is it? Yeah, a lot of times I don't know if it's my doing that I'm getting in the way, or letting God. You know, I struggle.
Well, we all do that for one simple reason. Our ego is telling us we're controlling it, okay? And we're not, okay? We're certainly not creating it. See, but what happens to us is that it's hard for us to believe that God truly not only said to us, but promises us, be still and know that I am God. But if you think about it, God's spirit, God's power is for everyone, no matter what your station is in life. It had to be simple. It can't be for the 5% that are Christians or anyone who knows a lot about God. Knowing a lot about God is not experiencing God's spirit. God made it simple because he knows we're not that smart, period. He truly does.
This is nothing different than what we were always offered in the gospel. And like you say, what we saw in the Acts of the Apostles, the presence of God is, that's what we're stepping into in the kingdom of God, this reign of God, this presence of God, that we're completely proximate. But somehow this app is just reminding me so very often how I step out of it, and I get into Jim's kingdom, and it's kind of nice over there, because I'm not doing any great violence or anything, but I can fall asleep to the fact that, well, that's not exactly the same as being present to God and this great wonderment of opportunity. And I think you did a genius move right there, because even I feel like I've got to somehow create that possibility. Because if it doesn't happen right away, then I try harder is what I do. Right. And I think to Arturo's point, whatever practice we're doing, and this is what this is. This is just a practice. It's not the thing.
Yeah.
It's a practice.
Right.
It does seem like as human beings, the minute I get good at this practice is the minute it's going to stop working for me. Yes. I'm going to have to pick up another practice to find access. And I wish I had time, Jim. I'd like to tell a story, and I can't do it like you would a story, but I'll just tell you guys the punchlines, and I think you can get it. There was this great monk up on a mountain that had found it, like his name was Jim Heaney. And people would travel, thousands of miles to sit with this monk on this mountain. It was quite a pilgrimage to get there. And this one young man, there was this mantra that was germane to this spiritual tradition that this monk represented, and everyone knew who was pursuing that tradition knew that mantra, and they would say it with great, facility and great desire, seeking God. And this one young man had spent 20 years with this practice, and he just felt like he had gone as far as he could. And now he wanted to go see the great master, to go deeper. And so he made the trek. He got to the top of the mountain. He sees the great master. You got to cross this lake, this great lake, and there's a boatman that takes him across, and he climbs up the last part of that mountain. And there he is, sitting quietly still. And you can tell he's at complete peace. He's so delighted, the young man, that he's going to finally get to go the rest of the way. And he goes up and he tells him, great master, this is the highlight of my life, my spiritual journey. I've been a faithful student for 20 years, practicing our tradition, and I've gone as far as I can go, and I would like to go further. Oh, wonderful, the master said. Say the mantra with me. And the young man was so delighted. And they sat there and they said the mantra together, but to the young man's horror, the master said the mantra incorrectly. The words were out of order and even left out a full sentence. And so after they were done, the young man sat there. He wasn't young so much anymore, but younger than the master. He said to him, Master, it's wonderful to be with you, but I must tell you, you said the mantra incorrectly. What? The great master said. Yes. And the young man told him the words to the mantra, and that master was so elated. Wow, I can't believe it. I didn't know the words. This is so wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. This is, Allah has shined on all of us. And so the young man leaves. He's so delighted with himself because, he helped the master. He must really be further along than he thought, because even the master didn't know the right words. And so he goes down the mountain. He's just so elated with himself, wondering what's next for him. And he gets on the boat, and the boatmen, they're going across, and he's just, his mind is just expanding. Maybe he needs a mountain. Who knows? And next thing you know, there's a tap on his shoulder, and he turns around, and it's the great master there standing on the water. And he looks up at him, shocked. And the master says, oh, my son, I'm so sorry to bother you. I've already forgotten the words.
Beautiful. Perfect. As they say, that is us.
It's such a meaningful thing to me that I'm going to get the right, mantra or the right practice or the right words. And that's what it's about somehow.
Right.
And it seems like that is the plague of humanity, is that somehow, and to your point right in the beginning, we're going to create it. And if we really just get the temperature right, the thermostat right, and all the pieces right, then that's when it's going to happen. But it will always come in the middle of things. So.